Hey guys, I just wanted to come and share a little thing with you this morning. I'm reading in Psalms chapter 77. Um, it's the consoling memory of God's redemptive works. I cried out to God, my voice to God with my voice, and He gave ear to me. In the day of my trouble, I sought the Lord. My hand was stretched out in the night without ceasing. My soul refused to be comforted. I remembered God and was troubled. I complained, and my spirit was overwhelmed. You hold my eyelids open. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I meditate within my heart, and my spirit makes diligent search. Will the Lord cast off forever? And will he be favorable no more? Has his mercy ceased forever? Has his promise failed forevermore? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he in anger shut up his tender mercies? And I said, this is my anguish, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will remember the works of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old. I will also meditate on all your work and talk of your deeds. Your way, O God, is in the holiness. Who is so great a God as our God? So I just wanted to say that sometimes in life that things happen and they're devastating. There's no word to speak. We're so um, hurt and sorrowful and grieving that we can't even speak about it. And but but God, and it just made me think about different times of my life that I have been on that in that place where um, all I could do was cry, and all I could do was say, God, if you don't help me through this, I'm not going to make it. It hurts too bad. It's too much for me. And then he always brings me back to remember when he came through for me, when he opened the door, when he provided, when he did something miraculous for me. And that's what gets you through. That's what sustains you, is to remember the goodness of God, to remember when he came through for you. Remember the miracle he did for you. Um, I'll share a big one with you right now. Years ago, I received, I got hurt, and you're going to laugh about this one. I was in a prayer line, and I got prayer, and I was laying on the floor, and there was a lot of people there, so it was very jammed up, and there were people that were catching people, um, and they weren't taught how to lay people down when the Holy Spirit hit them in the right way. So the person that was catching, my husband was standing next to me, and when they caught him, they just like rolled him over, and he like fell on me, and his upper body hit me like right across this area of my body so hard that my body came up off the ground and slammed back down. And I got up from there, and I felt this really sharp pain like go in the back of my neck like a knife. And so when I went home, I left that night and I went home, and the next day I couldn't move my neck, and I was in extreme pain. So I ended up going to the hospital, and the doctors did, you know, X-rays and MRI and all that kind of stuff, and they said that I had a severe whiplash, and that the only way I was going to make it through that was to take muscle relaxers and pain medication, and I had to wear a neck brace. And they set me up for appointments for um, physical therapy. And the doctor said basically I was going to have to learn to live with it, and that was going to be it. Well, there's no way I could have lived through that. I can understand how people can get addicted to pain medication. I'm not that type of person. I've never gotten addicted to stuff, and thank God for that. I can tell you that the pain medication didn't touch it. The muscle relaxers didn't help. They just made me groggy and stuff. And I could not sleep. And I was miserable. I was crying and I was in pain. And what I did was I pressed in. I pressed in with all my might to God. And I just remembered the woman, and the stories in the Bible, they're for us. You know, if you don't have a testimony from God, if you don't have a, a time that He came through for you, read the Word, because those are not fake, they're real. And I remembered how the woman pressed through the crowd just to touch the hem of Jesus' garment, the woman who had the issue of blood. And in those days, she was considered unclean, and if she got around people, she could be stoned to death. But she didn't care. Jesus was there, and she wanted to touch him in his garment because she knew that when she touched him, she would be healed. So I stood on the Word, and I was literally day and night praying and calling out, crying out for my healing. Probably a week or two later, I was completely healed from it. I got prayer a couple of times, but the second time I got prayer with this beautiful woman from Australia who led me through inner healing and letting go of past trauma and forgiveness, forgiving people that had wounded me. Right after the prayer, I came downstairs from where she was staying, and I'm walking back to my home where we lived on this Pentecostal campground at the time. So I'm walking back to my little cabin, and literally it came off of my neck like there had been a yoke across my neck, and it came off, and my neck was free. And as you can see, I don't have any issues. I never had any more issues after that. God completely healed me from that. And there is absolutely no way I could have lived with that pain. It was very, very intense. And I couldn't even sleep. It was miserable. So remember what God has done for you. How He's made a way where there seemed to be no way. I hope this helps you. God bless you. You guys have a great day today. Bye-bye.